Hello, I hope you all are well. Today we will be talking about the 6 basic categories of tea and the 6 processes involved in tea making. So 6 seems to be quite a central number in tea, isn't it? Alright, so the 6 teas that we will talk about are white tea, green tea, yellow tea, oolong or oolong tea, black tea and pu'er tea. So these are the 6 basic categories. There are more, but we will talk about all of this in greater detail in the coming videos. Alright, now the 6 processes involved are, the first one is withering. Withering is where you let the tea dry naturally, so being exposed to the sun or the wind. Second one is called oxidation. Oxidation is where you expose the tea to the air, where it absorbs oxygen and changes form. An example of oxidation is when you cut fruit. For example, take an apple. When you cut an apple and expose it to the air for a couple of minutes, it changes color. So it has been oxidized. So this lends color to the tea as well. So the black tea is oxidized, wherein the white and the green teas are not. Hence they preserve the color better. The third process is called fixation. Fixation is a process that stops oxidation. So this is a means by which you can control your level of oxidation. The fourth process is shaping. I don't need to talk about this. This is quite simple, like the name suggests. You give shape to the tea. Generally it's shaped like strips as in sencha tea, or pellets like gunpowder tea. Then comes drying. Now you might get confused with withering and drying. However, the difference is very simple. Withering is natural, whereas drying is induced. So you expose tea to a heated room and you control the temperature, and you dry it artificially. Then comes in your last process, which is fermentation. Fermentation involves the use of microbes. Now, for example, when your milk is converted into curd, that is fermentation. The microbe involved here is the lactobacillus. Similarly, alcohol is also the same thing, and when you use yeast in bread making, that is also fermentation. So the only tea out of these 6 categories that is fermented is the pu'er tea. Alright, now white tea is least processed, wherein pu'er tea is most processed. I'll take you through the levels. And I will also share a picture with you which will help you understand what I'm trying to say. The least processed tea is white tea, then comes green. Third category is the yellow tea. Then comes your oolong or oolong tea. There's something very interesting about this tea and the name, but I won't talk about it right now. That's for the videos to come. Then is your black tea. Again, like I mentioned, this is oxidized tea, hence it is turned black. Then comes your pu'er tea. It is fermented and has a very distinct flavor. So that's all for the first section today. Let's move on to the second one. Now the tisane that I'm going to talk to you about is essentially a summer drink. It's ideal to cool down your body. It has only 2 ingredients. The first one is quite an uncommon one. You might not have heard of it, but here in India it's pretty common. It's khas. So khas is a root and a grass. Both parts are edible. This is what it looks like. So it's pretty inexpensive here, and it's widely used during the summers. We use it in coolers as well, and it gives a very calming, soothing, cooling kind of an effect. And also khas sharbat is very popular in summers. But khas sharbat has a lot of added sugar in it, which essentially kills all the health benefits. So please stick to this tisane that I'm going to talk about. The second ingredient for this tisane are dried mint leaves. Now again, I'm going to use spearmint here, but you are free to use peppermint as well. Just combine these 2 ingredients, let it steep for around 10 minutes of time in boiling water. Let it chill. You can have it hot, but sticking it in the refrigerator for a couple of minutes works better. So vetiver is also called khas. So khas is quite a common name. Vetiver is a fancy name, and this has a lot of uses. Essentially, it cools down your body, it helps in relaxation, helps with nervousness and insomnia. And it also has a very distinct fragrance. You might see it in a lot of prized perfumes. Spearmint or peppermint or the mint family in general. Again, it has similar effects. It is very cooling in nature, and it has digestive properties as well as antibacterial properties. So please do consume it for better health and better cooling. Do give it a try. It's a very nice summer drink. Okay, now this is all for the second section for today. Let's move on to the third one. Do your ice cubes look like this? Would you want your ice cubes to look like this? There's a very simple way to do this. Now, first let me explain what leads to the cloudy appearance of ice cubes. It's the gases which are trapped. So these gases, essentially nitrogen and oxygen, these are trapped in the form of tiny bubbles in your water. And as they freeze, they lead to that white, cloudy appearance. Not very nice when you pour it in a drink, is it? So it's very simple. All you need to do for clear and pretty and presentable ice is boil your water for a little while before freezing it. Boiling will essentially remove all the gases from your water, and when you freeze it, your ice is going to be crystal clear. So that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Till we meet next time, steep, strain, and enjoy.